Christophe in Santa Monica, California. By the way, that's a cool name. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. Slightly less cool name. But today I'm going to cut your actually reading glasses that you're going to get in the Oakley 5038, which is the metal plate, size 55. The color is 06, which is the brushed chrome. Let me take everything out of the original packaging as Oakley sends it to me. Of course, you got your Oakley literature in here. Come on, get out, get out, get out. All the stuff you could ever imagine are extra packaging. Your hard shell leather case. Of course, the frame, it comes with an Oakley drawstring bag that doubles as a cleaning cloth and carrying case if you don't want to carry the hard case. Comes with 2 plastic sleeves on the temples to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping, and of course I'm going to include all of that when I ship to you. Great, as you can see, this is the titanium frame and the brushed chrome. Titanium is one of the strongest metals that there is, yet the lightest weight. Again, this is the metal plate, model number 5038, color 06, in the 55 eye size and the brushed chrome. Let me begin. I'm going to, I need to barcode this into the computer first thing in the morning. Got to get going. So you are agent 1024. We will put that on there, and we're going to program the shape into the computer. Years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I'll just pull up your record card, pull up the shape, and I'll be able to cut the lenses and mail them right to your home. Hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Oakley frame, and I'll supply 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Plus, I always would like to point out I am an authorized Oakley dealer. I'm just not allowed to put them on my website. There's only about 10 companies, really big boys, that are allowed to do that. And I'm just a small David amongst corporate Goliaths. So if there's anything you want, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com and I'll get them made for you. So let's see. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see me make more Oakley frames, lenses for Oakleys. Your pupillary distance is 57. Let me move this onto the next screen. 56, 28. So half of that would be 28.5. I had to sit there and stop for a second and do math in my head. I mathed. That's how I came up with that number. I'm actually going to leave the optical center the same. Normally I'd raise it up for distance classes, but because you're going to be looking down or at a computer, I'm going to leave these right in the center. Your right eye reads plus 175 minus a quarter at 91. We're going to turn the axis wheel to 91. We're going to turn it on. Of course, as always, let's put some ink in this thing. First thing in the day, let's clear any crud, any dried ink that could be on there. Take my Higgins ink. Higgy baby. My wife's watching the new Magnum PI, but it's just not the same without Magnum. Excuse me, without Tom Selleck. So plus 175 minus a quarter at 91. Plus 175 minus a quarter. Take that out of the packet. Put it on. Actually, let's zero everything out. Make sure it's perfect. It is. We're going to put it on plus 175. Rotate the lens until the spherical component becomes clear. Find the optical center of the lens. Check the astigmatism correction. That is good. And then we're going to put 3 dots onto the lens. And that third dot never wants to do anything. You know what? We're going to leave it off today. And we're going to call this one the right lens. Let's do the same thing for the left, which is plus 175 sphere. Which technically I don't even need anything but the center dot because this is a spherical lens. I don't even have to change the power drum on the lensometer because we're still on 175. And let me darken this so you can see what's going on. And this is the left lens. So the reason why I put hang on one second, go ahead. UPS delivering my packages, I'm telling them take them to my receptionist. So the reason I put the dots on there, it has to be oriented in there just perfectly. So I'm going to get everything laid out the way it should be. Let me see some. I think I will raise that optical center up because you said you were using these for the computer, which means you're going to have a forward gaze. I want to do one other thing here. Got ink on my fingers. It's better to be caught black-fingered than red-handed, I guess. Let's move this a little bit. We're going to toy around. Sorry, just doing... I'm mathing again. I am mathing. We're getting everything laid out the way it should be. We're getting there. We're good to go. Raise everything up. Make sure everything's looking good. Up. So, this is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got 2 right here. More than 2, actually. I'm going to place this on there. Do the same thing for the second one. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. On the back is a silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to the magnet there in the arm. Place that there. Where's my stylus? Get everything laid back out again. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right. Just like me, I ain't right. Yeah, I know. Mumble. Yeah, you moan, but you'll be you'll be repeating it tomorrow. So we're gonna get everything laid out exactly where it should be. I'm gonna move everything, make sure the lens is large enough to cut out. Hit that button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do. It's known as the edger. This is a finishing lab. I take a stock lens and I make a finished pair of glasses out of it. So this is known as the edger. This costs $40,000. Well, this is $30,000. This is $10,000. Combined, they're $40,000. But this is going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It has a diamond cutting wheel that's going to grind your lens down until it's the final size, and then like this. And then this wheel in the center of that channel, that little valley, that's where we're going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So I'm going to wake up the computer. Number 1024, hopefully you can see that, 1024. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, Hindex plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it won't be seen in this frame. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens because it's not going to protrude. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Ding! Turn the page. Alright, so now I'm going to let the magnet do its job a second time today. It's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I know, bad joke. But they're always free. And it's free to leave the door dirty too. One of these days I'm going to take it off and clean it. But the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see it's just going around tracing the shape. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now in just a moment the lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. If you see light flickering in the background, there's water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, Hindex plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning the water sprays onto the lens the entire time it's on the cutting surface, but polycarbonate cuts dry. Now, again, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from debris and flying shrapnel. And speaking of protection, it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every few hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. There in Santa Monica, California, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. The other nice thing about your lenses, I mentioned they're polycarbonate, but they're also aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every meridian. This has a flat, so they're thinner and lighter, but follow me on the front curvature. Aspheric is a flatter curvature to fit in today's flatter curvature frame, so it gives you a much better cosmetic appearance. A spherical lens, which this is not, gives you that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when people are looking at you. Yours will not have that effect. Now you also, the frame itself sells for $250. You upgraded $50 for the anti-glare coating. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. It reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, street lights, stoplights, computer screens, which you'll be using these for, as you won't be driving in them. But the second feature, it's known as ARC. ARC, $49.99. That's because it stands for anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections. When people look at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, they see just your eyes, so it makes for a much better cosmetic look again. Plus, if someone takes a picture, if you take a selfie, the flash won't be lit up in the lens, they'll see just your eyes. Now the third feature that I like, as it's getting the safety bevel on the back surface of the lens, the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on the lens to protect your time and investment. I can put that down now. Now in just a moment I will open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but then it'll melt. I know, you're tired of it, you're sick of it. Now, if anyone can think of a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me. That's optical sawdust. Let's go ahead and oops, it fell off before I could get it to the trash can. But as I was saying, if anyone can think of a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I will read it on the air and give you credit for it. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting. So, I'm going to grab my Phillips head screwdriver, did a little bit of lefty-loosey, loosen that up, and then I pop that into the frame, and then I'm going to do righty-tighty until it closes, which it has. Let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens, flip that over to L, line up the magnet there in the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckster, and hit the green arrow, which is start. Again, the door closes, the clamp shuts, the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses. Check the time. I open in 9 minutes. Got to keep going. Friday, October 5th. Tomorrow I'm leaving for Maine. And it's tracing the shape. I missed it. I've been running my mouth. And again, checking the bevel placement, knowing where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. So I promised him I would get these shipped in time because I am going out of town. I'll take a week's vacation. Yeah, I know, I just spent 10 days in Thailand, but that was a surprise, all expense paid vacation. Now I'm going to take this off. This is the first 11 months. I'm starting a new little one now that I'm in my new location. We'll stick that there on top. Come down here to the lensometer and put it in. We're still on the 91st meridian because I never had to change it for my left lens. Excuse me, Christophe's left lens. Check the power, and I'm getting plus 175, 1 tick mark away from 2. Let's check your astigmatism correction, and we end up at plus 150, exactly halfway between 1 and 2. That's because the unit of measurement we use in the optical field, let's use my screwdriver today, is called a diopter, and it's spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up in quarter, 0.25 increments. So 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and so on. You're on the 7th rung of a ladder. You are far-sighted, but you need nearsighted correction. The farther away something is, the better. And so that's why you need 7 steps of correction for nearsightedness so you can see up close. Now, once everything is the correct size, you have 1 step of astigmatism correction, the smallest amount you can have. Astigmatism, when it's much higher than that, makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Essentially, you have 2 curves on your eye, a spherical curve this way and an astigmatic curve, and it's how you line those 2 curves up on those meridians. And we're going to do it on the 91st meridian. A straight line is 0 to 180 with 90 in the center, and that's where we're at, just past the 90th meridian to 91. So your left eye needs no astigmatism correction, only the 7 steps of nearsighted correction. But again, years from now, should your prescription change and you need new lenses, I can mail them right to your home, and all you need is a tiny little Phillips head screwdriver to swap them out. That and a baking dish. The reason why I say baking dish is that when you're loosening the screw, you don't want it to fall on the floor. So get a baking dish and put a t-shirt or a small towel, because if the screw bounces in the glass dish or metal pan or the counter, it can bounce onto the floor, and then it's hard to look for, especially when you don't have your reading glasses on because you're working on them. So we will get that done for you. So the baking dish with the towel in it or a t-shirt will allow the screw just to land softly and not bounce anywhere. So it's getting the safety bevel, which is like a little Dremel tool, smoothing out any rough edges left over from the cutting procedure. Check the time. We're gonna have patients running in. 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, you're on. All right, who's old school with me? Little Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. Yes, for those of you keeping score at home, I am still caffeinated. Thank you for asking. All right. I saw a t-shirt one that said yes, but coffee first. Okay, see, I was close. I almost lost that screw, so I'm keeping it upside down. Do not bounce out. Do not bounce out. And if you're good, you don't have to back the screw out all the way. Because did I mention these are unbreakable lenses? So I'm going to make sure everything's lined up in there perfectly, and then take my tiny Phillips screwdriver and do the old righty-tighty. Yeah, that's in there good. And the reason why I don't put a safety bevel on the front is because it gives you a little bit of a ring, but you don't feel it in the frame, so there's no need to. Go ahead and take this block off. My hand-approved drying technique, drop that in there, put the sticker on that, come down here. The dot's gone, but I can put a new one, and we'll check the power, and we're getting plus 175 sphere. So that is cut perfectly. I couldn't do a better job if I'd done it myself. And let me check the pupillary distance real quick. We're good to go there. It is just, hang on, it's barely there. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. I'm going to hold that up. Your pupillary distance is 57. Line that up. And we are getting 57 when I put the measure right there. Put this down. Now everyone who's seen my videos know that this is the portion when I clean your lenses. We get everything into focus. I can't see what you guys are doing. But I'm gonna get when you get these in the mail, and there's free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. Because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them, but I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter, and there is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press them down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Yes, I was wearing these yesterday, the blue-orange. Today I'm wearing my blue-orange Oakleys. These are the, hang on, I gotta put my glasses on so I can see, because I too am farsighted. This is the Oakley 8132 color 02, the Universe Blue, because I don't have a thing for blue-orange, because it's my hometown colors, the Durham Bulls, all that stuff. So, but the nice thing about these temples is they're almost self-leveling. Every other frame I have to adjust it, but these I don't, so they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. Check the tension on each spring hinge. That's good. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, and neither one is askew. Now I include a selfie request in every package to have your picture on the website. I also include cleaning instructions, not only to care for your frame and lenses, but for your Oakley cleaning cloth, the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I'll provide, and your Oakley case, so those two will last you for years. Again, if you've liked what you've seen and you want to see more videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as Free Prescription Lenses, and on Instagram as Free RX Lenses. So, you can email me directly if you have any questions at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. There's a contact me button on the website, but for some reasons not everyone's email platform can get through, so just email me directly. Or you can always leave a comment in the comment section below, that way other people can benefit from it. So Christophe in Santa Monica, California, hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with anti-glare for your Oakley metal plate, which is the 5038 color 06, the brush comb, and the 55 eye size, and hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.